It's a big day in the big country, Abilene, Texas, as we welcome you to the first round of the NCAA Division I Football Championship. For the first time in a dozen years as a member of D1, Abilene Christian is in the FCS playoffs, and the Wildcats get to host as the number 15 seed. Northern Arizona comes from the Big Sky, riding a 5-game win streak to an at-large bid. Well, we check out this half of the bracket, and the winner books a trip to Fargo to meet the 9-time champion North Dakota State. The 2-time defending champion South Dakota State is also on this side of the bracket as the 3 seed. And hi there and welcome. Hope you're having a great Thanksgiving weekend along with the winningest quarterback in Rice history, Taylor McCarg. I'm Ted Emmerich. Let's start with ACU. And listen, it's been a dream year for them. They win their league, the United Athletic Conference. This is one of the biggest games ever for the program, but they have a massive void in their lineup today.
Well, their all-world quarterback that is third in all of FCS in passing, Maverick McIver, he's out today. Has battled injuries in the past, and he's dealing with a concussion from last week against SFA. And he's not able to go today. And so in place of the Walter Payton finalist, Maverick McIver, Carson Haggard will go today at quarterback. He had action last week in the second half against Stephen F. Austin, the Tulane transfer. There's going to be a lot on his shoulders because he's facing one of the best defenses in the FCS on the other side in Northern Arizona. And they are led by their captain, Tommy Ellis, at linebacker, and Alex McLaughlin in the back end at safety, both of which first-team all-conference in the Big Sky. They are the anchors, over 170 tackles combined between those two, and it is a heavy lift today for Carson Haggard in this offense.
Brian Wright is NAU's head coach. He took Pittsburgh State out of Kansas to the D2 playoffs the last 2 years. Now he has Northern Arizona in the FCS playoffs in year 1. And Keith Patterson for ACU, he has been talking about this day since he was hired 3 years ago. Told us this week it was always our expectation this year to make it to this point, and here they are with the automatic bid, but again shorthanded without McIver. Beautiful day here in Abilene. Temperature 61 degrees, just a slight wind out of the west. ACU won the toss, deferred, so Northern Arizona to have the ball first, and we're underway in the first round of the FCS playoffs. It is a touchback as that ball curled just beyond the goal line. Ty Pennington is the quarterback, Taylor, for Northern Arizona. He followed right from Pittsburgh State to NAU, and he's the Big Sky newcomer of the year.
And was in a competition battle when he got to Northern Arizona with Angel Flores, ended up winning out that job, and has played his best football down the stretch. This was a unit in Northern Arizona, started their year 3 and 4, won out the rest of the way, and a big reason why they're here in the first round of the FCS playoffs is because of the performance of Ty Pennington.
Threw for a career-high 312 yards last week in a win over Eastern Washington. And he's got Seth Cromwell in the backfield with him after the motion. Cromwell's been hot coming in. It's a throw on first down, and Pennington hooks up with his second tight end, Isaiah Jarena, the 5th-year junior from New Jersey. It's a gain of 5.
And this is a big-time tight end offense between Isaiah Jarena and Bryze White. Bryze White, number 12, actually the leading receiver and top target for Ty Pennington. So they will feature the tight ends throughout this game.
Yeah, NAU spreads it around. They are without their second leading receiver, Colby Katzis, today, who had his ankle rolled up on last week. First touch for Cromwell, coming in with 3 consecutive 100-yard games, and he picks up only a yard here to set up 3rd and 4.
And a physical runner, and the answer right now, right off the bat from Abilene Christian. A lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage, playing man defense with a low safety, and you mentioned it, Ted, the last 3 games, over 100 yards. A big performance last week against Eastern Washington, a game that was effectively a playoff game. They had to win that for an opportunity to get into the playoffs.
So an early 3rd down opportunity for Northern Arizona. They rank 20th in the country, converting 45% of the time. Pennington zips it out, and it's a first down right back to Jarena. So a couple of catches early on for the second tight end. He had only 10 catches all year coming in, and he moves the sticks.
And a good job by Ty Pennington. Started off to his right side, working back to the left, working through his progression, finding the tight end. Again, as a quarterback, that is such a security blanket. Haven't had a target yet to Bryze White, but that tight end room, something that Ty Pennington relies a lot on.
And Taylor, maybe the answer today without Katzis is more of that 2 tight end set. So first down now at the 35. Eastman joins the backfield, and Isaiah Eastman gets the handoff. Utility player, plays in the slot, sometimes at running back, and he's strung out of bounds by Chris Wright, the North Texas transfer. No gain.
And a nice job by Chris Wright staying at home. They use that orbit motion. We may have gotten a late flag on the sidelines. A good play by Chris Wright. With the call here in a second from our head referee, Jeremy D'Angelo.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 2. That'll be a 15-yard penalty, carries an automatic first down. That is number 2, it's first unsportsmanlike of the game.
And that's on Jordan Mukes, the cornerback. Started his career at Oklahoma. You just can't have that to start a playoff game.
Well, a little bit of jawing back and forth at the end, and you can see he's getting a little bit of a talking to on the sideline, but exactly right, Ted. Playoff football, those are the penalties that'll kill you and keeps this drive on the move for the Lumberjacks.
Jacks now have it at midfield. Pennington feeling the heat off his back foot. He tosses it toward the bench. Kirby Cohealy applying the pressure for Abilene Christian.
And Isaiah Kelly in as well. Coming off the right side. It's the second time we've seen early in this game ECU dial up pressure trying to get after Ty Pennington. And it's a lot of different looks early. We've seen some zone coverage, some too high. This is another one. Safety is close to the line of scrimmage right now for Abilene Christian.
Pennington on the move this time. And out of bounds. Looking for Jarena. Tyre Brooks was there as well, and it's 3rd and 10.
And sticky coverage again on the back end, trying to target Tyre Brooks. This is that delayed sprint out, and there's just nowhere to go with the football. Really nice job on the back end in coverage by Tyson Williams. Big opportunity for Abilene Christian to get off the field here on 3rd down.
Well, they converted a moment ago on 3rd and 5. Now they need 10. Again, you see the numbers on 3rd down, so good this season. Pennington setting up a screen, and ACU diagnoses it well. Cromwell got swallowed up by Jerry Lawson, the sophomore defensive tackle. No gain.
And Jerry Lawson was all over this play from the jump. Diagnosed this as soon as Ty Pennington started to give ground. Watch how he backs out, is all over this screen. And that's one of the guys. This is an interior defensive lineman, started his career as a running back. Now at the 3 technique spot. Great job by the sophomore from Breckenridge.
Yeah, that was about 40 pounds ago.
That's right.
Well, ACU has done so well blocking kicks, not punts this year, but that's something to keep in mind on special teams, as the punt by Ben DeQuilla lands in the end zone, and it's a touchback. So Abilene Christian with Carson Haggard making his first career start, his 3rd year of college football, first 2 years at Tulane, this year joining ACU. He's in for the injured Maverick McIver. They hope that since he's taken the first team reps all week, that he can get settled in a little easier than he did last week coming off the bench.
And he's got some weapons on the outside, specifically Blaine Taylor and Nehemiah Martinez. Those will be the 2 guys they will lean on, along with Sam Hicks at the running back spot.
Haggard puts it in the air on 1st down. He's a mobile quarterback, and he's able to find his target, Trey Cleveland, on the sideline for a nice gain. Canyon Moses had the coverage. He gets 7.
And a good job by Carson Haggard working to his left. It's not there. Has the ability to get out to the right side, find the open receiver. But expect a lot of movement in the interior defensive line for Northern Arizona. A lot of twists and stunts trying to confuse the picture for this young quarterback.
Now before 2nd and 3 with Martinez in motion. Couple of flags on the field.
Ball start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. 2nd half.
So that's on Tay Yanta, the center. Haggard is in, so backup quarterback. Keith Patterson also has to use his backup left tackle today. Carson Walker makes his first career start because Dylan Kinney, who started all season, is out with an injury. So ACU undermanned today. Swing it to Martinez. So good. Out of the slot for Abilene Christian. Martinez couldn't quite turn upfield there. Short gain on the play as DJ Van Hook pushed him out.
And Ted, you and I talked about this before the game. I think this is going to be a huge part of the game plan today. Easy, simple completions for Carson Haggard. Simple reads, whether it's half-field reads or, in that example, to Nehemiah Martinez, a screen. Get it out on the perimeter, manufacture touches to guys like Martinez and Blaine Taylor. Be interesting here. Empty look. Looks like a potential pressure package for Northern Arizona. Do they come after Carson Haggard?
Tommy Ellis was threatening there for a minute. On 3rd and 3, the slant to Taylor's off his fingertips. Just a little wide of his target was Haggard. Van Hook had the assignment defensively, and ACU has to punt.
And this just needs to be a little better throw from Carson Haggard. He's got the open man. Boundary slant from Blaine Taylor, and this one just gets away from Carson Haggard. It's one that he's going to want back. Should have been a first down for Abilene Christian.
Instead, a 3 and out for this high-octane offense. Running the air raid, but again, with their backup quarterback today. And now Grant Nickel, the junior transfer from Texas Tech, on to punt. Isaiah Eastman, the return man for Northern Arizona, and he's taken down immediately at the 36-yard line. So a couple of stops for each defense. First round of the FCS playoffs here in Abilene. Well, Brian Wright knew that his Northern Arizona team was a bubble team heading into the selection show last Sunday on ESPNU. They knew they had to sweat it out. Here's how it looked in Flagstaff. Just an eruption as they finally saw their name on the bracket, getting in as the 5th team out of the Big Sky Conference. Of course, one of the very best at this level. It's Northern Arizona's first playoff berth since 2017.
Ted, we talked about it also. We love doing these games, the FCS playoffs. There's so much energy. You can see how much it means to all these teams. Awesome moment for Northern Arizona.
Wright said that he told his team what basically started playing in the postseason a month ago as Pennington trying to hit his receiver Tay Lanier over the middle, and Jordan Mukes broke it up.
And this is great coverage from Jordan Mukes, trying to hit that slant off of play action and watch right behind. That ball could have been a little farther out in front, but I don't think it would have mattered. Jordan Mukes, transfer from Oklahoma. Great job in coverage.
Mukes had that penalty on the first drive, the unsportsmanlike conduct. Such a big corner at 6'3". Eastman in motion, and he gets his second handoff of the game. And he's taken down by Will Schaefer, the Arizona State transfer, along with Jerry Lawson. Big play by that ACU defense.
And a glimpse here at what makes Will Schaefer, one of the Buck Buchanan finalists, shoots the gap, comes across the face of Isaiah Jarena. That was a great play and a good open field tackle.
And now 3rd and 10 for the Lumberjacks.
The last 3rd and long, Abilene Christian brought pressure. Do they, right in the center, Isaiah Kelly, do they blitz him?
Instead, just a 4-man rush. Pennington wires it. Incomplete. A little too tall for Brooks, who was battling Mukes.
A little bit back and forth, already chippy. I thought maybe Jordan Mukes had a hand early on it, maybe a potential hold. I think you see that jersey tug there. Doesn't get called. But that could have gone either way. Maybe getting away with one early for Jordan Mukes.
Man, this is so big for ACU, again, without their quarterback today, for the defense, which has given up yards and points all year to start like this.
And seeing a lot of man early from Abilene Christian was a little different for them.
Nice rush, but D'Aquila gets it away. Martinez watches it roll by. And this is going to end up as a great punt for Northern Arizona inside the 10. There is a flag down back at the 30-yard line. There is a flag. So a flag in the backfield.
There's a penalty flag on the play.
Personal foul, leaping, receiving team number 86. It's a 15-yard penalty, carries an automatic first down.
Wow. As ACU was trying to block the punt, the leap is called and Northern Arizona keeps the ball. Let's take a look.
Right in the center of your screen, like Lebechi, number 86. Trying to protect that up man. And that's something, after your defense goes out, creates a 3 and out. That is a killer for Abilene Christian. Ted, you talked about it. Defense in the first couple drives playing really well. You've got your backup quarterback in the game. That is a devastating penalty. Now an opportunity for Northern Arizona. Good field position just on the other side of the 50. This would be a spot. Haven't seen them really test this Abilene Christian defense downfield yet. This could be a spot to try and take a downfield shot.
And you see that more often on place kicks, not so much on punts, but it bites Abilene Christian there. So a first down at the ACU 49 and a flag down before the snap.
Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Ted, we talked about how big emotions would be in this game. I think we're seeing a little bit of that early. It's been chippy so far. A lot of penalties through the first couple drives for each of these teams. Another one there, pre-snap penalty that time for Northern Arizona.
Let's see who can settle in first. Game of this magnitude. Pennington to the flat. Eastman has it, blocker in front. Bryce White is tight end. And a good gain to make up the penalty yardage there as he picks up 5. Kelly and Kohili were there on the tackle.
And a nice job again by this Abilene Christian defense rallying from the inside out. Isaiah Kelly fights through that outside shoulder. Now a little tempo from the Lumberjacks offense.
Pennington floats it, and there's the first catch for his leading receiver, the tight end, Bryce White. Gain of a couple as Dorian Plumley was in coverage, so it's 3rd and 8.
I think so far what surprised me is the type of coverage Abilene Christian is playing. They've got almost everybody close to the line of scrimmage within 6 or 7 yards. What that tells me, Ted, is I don't think this Abilene Christian secondary is afraid of the top targets and receivers for Northern Arizona.
Line to gain the 39. ACU brings some pressure. Pennington hit downfield and incomplete for Lanier. Jerry Lawson bringing the pressure, and again it was Mukes back there for Abilene Christian.
And more pressure on 3rd down from Abilene Christian. He brings 7. Take a look at all these purple jerseys right in the middle. A twist up front from Chris Wright. And pretty good coverage on the back end from Jordan Mukes. Seen him be physical so far. No call on either of these downfield attacks from Northern Arizona. And even after that penalty, credit to Abilene Christian's defense for getting off the field.
So take 2 for D'Aquila on this drive. As ball floats over the head of Martinez and out of bounds inside the 5. So an even better punt from D'Aquila this time, who did go down there. No flag was thrown. And Abilene Christian will start from their 3-yard line. Scoreless game here in the first round of the FCS playoffs.
The
Let's take you back to the last day of August. Season opener, Abilene Christian oh so close to a historic upset of Texas Tech, which is going to end up as an 8-win team out of the Big 12 this year. ACU down 32-15 in the first half, and Maverick McIver just kept on firing. He led the team down for a field goal at the end of regulation. So off to overtime. They need a touchdown. They get it from Isaiah Johnson, and the decision was go for two and the win. McIver sacked by Jaden Cofield, and Joey McGuire, and Texas Tech could exhale 52-51 in overtime. ACU, though spurred by that performance in that game, so close to knocking off Tech, they win their first ever conference title as a member of the FCS and now in the playoffs for the first time since 2011 when they were still in Division II. Now, McIver threw for more than 500 yards in that game. Taylor, again, he is not available because of the concussion today. Carson Haggard back on the field. It was a 3-and-out the first time. And Haggard has to take the snap from his own end zone after the brilliant punt by Ben DeQuilla. Almost bobbled the snap there, and Sam Hicks, the 1,000-yard rusher, made it back to the line of scrimmage. Is cut down by Zach Lewis, the all-Big Sky safety.
And the Nevada transfer, Zach Lewis, flying downhill. Good job also handling that snap. Look at that high snap. Has to go up and palm it one hand. But look at number 3 in white flash. That's Zach Lewis, one of the more physical safeties in the back end in the Big Sky Conference.
Now throwing from the end zone. Pass might have been deflected there. Still made its way to Hicks, and it's a positive gain to the 8-yard line. Gain of 5 there to give Abilene Christian a little bit of breathing room.
Like Canyon Moses getting his hands up. Opportunity for this to be maybe a first down. That had not been tipped. Good job from Moses getting his hands up, and now another 3rd down. Field position playing a huge role early, and not many favors for Abilene Christian and their backup quarterback, Carson Haggard.
Haggard moved off his spot, trying to scramble for it, and Haggard has the first down. What a tough run. Brandon Wong was in there defensively, and Haggard buying time in the first down.
And fearless from Carson Haggard. Watch at the end here. Gets loose. Takes a shot. Sure, it comes to the sideline. Staffel said, great job. Next time, once you get the first down, just go ahead and get down.
10-yard run. Now the little pop pass. Nehemiah Martinez, creative look there. Just an extension of the running game as Martinez, the former high school running back, picks up about 4.
And that's the second time we've seen this offense scheme up a look to Nehemiah Martinez. A couple drives ago, it was on the screen pass. This time, shovel pass, trying to manufacture touches for Nehemiah Martinez, a guy that came into this game on the doorstep of a 1,000-yard season.
He was the leading receiver in the FCS mid-season before tailing off just a little bit. He's had a great year. Now Hicks, who has also had a great year. Look out! Sam Hicks reversing his field. And Hicks lowering the shoulder at the 45. Huge run, 22 yards.
Came into this game talking about the vision of Sam Hicks, and this is a great example. Starts to the right side, and watch how he breaks this back right off the face of the back end safety. And a good job in the open field using his speed. This is a guy also was a former slot receiver. You see how he moves in the open field. But to me, what stood out most in watching tape of him coming into this week, his vision, one of the best we've seen at the FCS level.
Back in his home state of Texas after a couple of years at Central Michigan in the MAC. First down, Haggard takes a shot. He wants Blaine Taylor, and he sailed it past him. DJ Van Hook had tight coverage.
Abilene Christian sideline going crazy, asking for a call right now. Head coach Keith Patterson reading the riot act, that line judge on the side. See a little bit of hand check. That right there, to me, the pull of that right arm, I think that should have been pass interference. DJ Van Hook getting away with one, but that's gone both ways. I think we've seen a couple calls in either direction, and this has been a conservative crew.
And Van Hook has given up 7 inches in that matchup. Listed at 5'10", Taylor goes 6'5". Now underneath to Blaine Taylor. He's got it this time. And in northern Arizona territory, dropped by McLaughlin. Gain of about 8, and it's 3rd down.
And that gets Blaine Taylor over the 1,000-yard mark for the season. That's the top target, and somebody that Maverick McIver would lean on repeatedly on 3rd down. Not a surprise to see Carson Haggard leaning on him, see him featured throughout the day.
So 3rd and 3 officially for ACU. Can they keep the drive rolling? They started this one from their own 3. Haggard zips it, caught in stride. Hutt Graham with his first catch since October 5th. Graham's dealt with some injuries this year. He extends the drive.
Yeah, good job by that right side of the offensive line, passing off the twist and an accurate throw from Carson Haggard.
Now the screen for J.J. Henry, who's wrapped up by McLaughlin. Freshman All-American last year, first team All-Big Sky this year. And he was able to lasso Henry.
Talked about him at the open. Such a good open field tackler for Alex McLaughlin. He's not the biggest safety. I have him at 6'2", 190. I don't think he's quite that big, but he makes plays repeatedly in the open field.
Hicks motions out. Haggard fakes it to him. Downfield, open man is Trey Cleveland for the touchdown. A 37-yard bullet from the backup quarterback, and ACU strikes first.
There's some confusion on the back end of the secondary, and Carson Haggard takes advantage. It's a switch concept between Hutt Graham and Trey Cleveland, and Northern Arizona does not pass this off. That's how you end up with Trey Cleveland wide open. A good accurate throw from Carson Haggard. Get Abilene Christian on the board.
Cleveland's first touchdown as a Wildcat. His first touchdown since he was with North Texas last year in a game against SMU. Extra point by Ritzy Vase, and Abilene Christian with a 7-0 lead.
A slow start, but a great throw from Carson Haggard. Over the top to Trey Cleveland. Gets Abilene Christian on the board first.
Hey, that's for you. You got a little overboard.
The 6th-year senior Trey Cleveland puts Abilene Christian on the board. A 37-yard touchdown from the backup quarterback, Carson Haggard, making his first career start today in for the injured Maverick McIver. Taylor, this week, Keith Patterson told us we are not scaling back our offense at all. We believe in Carson. He's got a huge arm, and he just showed it.
And I think the experience that he had to come off the bench last week at Stephen F. Austin. I think that helped tremendously, and we talked about it at the top. Getting to have the first team reps all week, knowing he was going to be the guy and game planning around him, I think that's obviously helped with the fast start.
From the goal line, Taylor near on the return here, and just past the 20-yard line for Northern Arizona. Boy, Haggard taking a look at, of course, the tablets allowed, the in-game video this year in college football. Gotta love what he's seeing after such a rough second half last week, coming off the bench in the moment when McIver was injured and leading a 97-yard touchdown drive. So now Ty Pennington and Northern Arizona's offense back to work. They've punted on both of their first 2 possessions. Stick in the belly of Cromwell. And Cromwell breaking it loose. First down out close to the 40. Elijah Moffitt might have saved a touchdown there.
And that will help Ty Pennington get the drive going. Easy first down carry, blocked up well on the left side. And Seth Cromwell, he's hard to bring down, very rarely brought down by the first defender. So on break that tackle on the outside, get this drive started for Northern Arizona.
That goes 215 pounds, redshirt freshman. Brian Wright says he's just much more comfortable with the offense now. Late in the season, he's picked it up, and we can rely on it. Right back to Cromwell, into the jaws of the defense, and he gains a couple. Isaiah Kelly, the first one to hit him. Wright, awfully familiar with him too, Taylor. Cromwell transferred from Division II Missouri Western, which was in the same conference as Wright's former school, Pittsburgh State.
And he had beat Pittsburgh State, beating Cromwell last year, and when head coach Brian Wright took the job, he said, okay, we need a running back. I got to see firsthand what you're capable of and bring you to Northern Arizona. It's been a staple for them this year.
And that 2-touchdown game against Wright in Pittsburgh State last year. Cromwell, third straight carry, and he's tossed down in the backfield. A loss of a yard as Chris Wright got to him.
And between Chris Wright at the defensive end spot and Isaiah Kelly from the safety spot, right now Abilene Christian doing a good job in that first down run. At this point in the first quarter, a nice answer for the run game of Northern Arizona. I think that's been the biggest surprise early in this game to me is Abilene Christian's aggressiveness in run defense. Still a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage.
It's 3rd and 9. Pennington trying to step up. He goes down in the arms of Kagan Roach. It's punt time again for the Lumberjacks.
And just rush 4. Look at the top. Great job by Kagan Roach. He's matched up against Seth Smith, left tackle for Northern Arizona, and that's just a win. As Ty Pennington tries to work up in the pocket, Roach able to get off the block of Seth Smith.
DeQuilla bobbled the snap, able to get it away. Here is Martinez on the return for Abilene Christian. And he twirls down to about the 27. Just such a good start here for Abilene Christian. Again, not having one of the best quarterbacks in the FCS, third leading passer in the country, Maverick McIver. The defense has stood up so far, and they're coming off the 97-yard touchdown drive.
And they are daring Ty Pennington in this passing attack for Northern Arizona to beat them throwing down the field. And to this point, Northern Arizona really hasn't had much success. We've seen Chris Wright obviously be active, adding Isaiah Kelly from the safety spot multiple times into the box. It's making it really difficult.
After further review, the punt returner's knee was down upon possession. Ball be placed at the 19-yard line. First down, ACU.
Yes, as Martinez secured the catch on the punt return, that right knee did hit the ground. But again, Ted, a great early game plan for this Abilene Christian defense and taking away the run game of Northern Arizona.
Difference of about 7 to 8 yards there as they mark Martinez down at the 19. Martinez in motion. Give it to Sam Hicks. Trying to cut it back. And Hicks does cross the 20. Picks up a couple. Travis Arena wrapped him up.
Also seeing pretty clean football to this point in the game. Had some penalties early, but you can see why both of these teams had so much success. Not a ton of missed assignments. Guys generally where they're supposed to be. I think pretty clean first quarter here in Abilene.
Abilene Christian will certainly take that first quarter, all things considered. Starting their QB2, Carson Haggard. They got a 7-0 lead here in the first round of the FCS playoffs. Back here in the big country, Abilene, Texas, Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg, first round of the FCS playoffs. Abilene Christian, the 15 seed with a 7-0 lead over Northern Arizona. You see the home road splits this year for ACU. And listen, a few of those road losses, like the Texas Tech one thing, yeah, out of the Big 12. You gave up 52 points. That's going to inflate your numbers defensively. Also gave up 47 in a loss at North Alabama, excuse me. And yet today, this defense, which has given up points every single week with stop after stop, and with Carson Haggard in place of the injured Maverick McIver, up 7-0. Haggard throwing on first down, dangerous pass, and that is intercepted. Mikhail Greer with his team leading 4th pick of the season. Boy, exactly what Northern Arizona needed.
Well, this ball never should have gone to the boundary on this slant. Mikael Greer in great position. He's got inside leverage the entire way, putting your receiver in a terrible spot, trying to ask Blaine Taylor to get across the face of Mikael Greer. And a great play from Mikael Greer, coming up with his 4th interception of the season.
Native of Compton, transfer from San Jose State in his 2nd year with the Jacks. And immediately a golden opportunity for the Northern Arizona offense as they take over at the 25 of Abilene Christian. New running back Darvon Hubbard couldn't turn the corner there. No gain on the play as Will Schaefer knocked him down.
There's Will Schaefer again. Going back to that interception from Carson Haggard, that was telegraphed the entire way. That looked like a young quarterback saying, I'm throwing this slant no matter what. It was not the right look for it, but a credit again to Mikael Greer. That was a huge play that's gotten momentum back on the side of Northern Arizona.
If the Jacks find any room against this ACU defense that's locked them up so far.
Zero pressure look. Now Northern Arizona checking out of it.
Eastman in the backfield with Ty Pennington, and flags fly.
Ball start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
I thought that Jeremy D'Angelo was just going to say offense instead of identifying a player there because everyone was confused as they were shifting.
Ball start on the entire offensive line. But for Abilene Christian, showing pressure again. That's been a theme through the first part of this game. Northern Arizona backing out of what was an empty look. No running back in the backfield. Now another pre-snap penalty.
And this is the mentality that Keith Patterson wants for his defense. By the way, the head coach calls the defensive plays for AC. Long-time defensive coordinator himself at the FBS level. Play action for Pennington. To the end zone, and an interception for Abilene Christian. Dorian Plumley brings it out across the 20-yard line. His first career interception. Dorian Plumley gives it right back to the Cats.
That was a chance for a touchdown for Northern Arizona. The ball just comes out late. This ball needs to come out a full second earlier. As you see Tay Lanier open in the end zone, but because this is late, it allows Dorian Plumley to recover. Unbelievable play. And after the interception from Carson Haggard, it's going right back to Abilene Christian.
Abilene Christian doesn't look like a defense that gives up 31.5 points per game. One of the worst marks in the FCS. They have bottled up Northern Arizona so far today.
It's really been taking away a rushing attack for Northern Arizona. That was the sack earlier, and this was the interception. This ball, again, just comes out late. Tay Lanier is open. This is a great look at it. That ball needs to come out right now. Pull that receiver towards the W in Wildcats because he throws it late and right at Dorian Plumley. Plumley able to come down with the interception, get momentum back on the side of Abilene Christian.
So they trade picks, and ACU takes over at the 24. Swing it to Nehemiah Martinez. And taken down right at the line of scrimmage by Christopher Smith. And this ACU defense probably knew, hey, there's probably going to be more on our shoulders today. We're starting Carson Haggard, not Maverick McIver. We have to come ready to play.
And I think between all 4 units on both sides, offense and defense, Wildcat look here from Nehemiah Martinez.
Boy, you called for this morning at breakfast, and here is Martinez to the second level on a stiff arm at midfield for Alex McLaughlin. The former high school running back out of Lubbock, erupting for 29.
They're trying to come up with creative ways to get Nehemiah Martinez the ball. Haven't seen Wildcat lately for Abilene Christian, but a great job by that right side of the offensive line. And really nice in the open field for Nehemiah Martinez.
Just do it again, why don't you? Picked up 29 yards a moment ago. And this time he's back to the line of scrimmage. I'm going to give you all the credit. You brought it up this exact scenario this morning when we were having breakfast. It's not something that Keith Patterson brought up when we talked to him earlier in the week.
Well, if you have your backup quarterback in the game, you're trying to figure out ways and manufacture touches for your best athletes. And Nehemiah Martinez is one of those guys. We've seen them go with screens, pop passes, and Wildcat's an easy way. You talked about him being a running back in high school. Try and figure out ways, easy touches for your second leading receiver.
Haggard back in there now, 2nd and 10. Pocket crumbling, and Haggard's pass is intercepted again. This time it's Alex McLaughlin. Fo Ho Ching had the pressure, and the all-Big Sky safety came down with it as Haggard was trying to find an outlet.
They're trying to go double post over the top, and it's there. I'm not sure why Carson Haggard doesn't pull the trigger on the post over top, but this becomes a disaster. Rovon Banks, the running back in the flat, throw that either at the feet of your running back or over his head, trying to make too much happen, and now back-to-back possessions with interceptions for Carson Haggard.
Had the 97-yard touchdown drive in the first quarter, but now back-to-back turnovers. And the Lumberjacks have it on their side of the 50 at the 47. Pennington coming off his own pick. And this is caught in stride. Bryce A. White, his top target, the big tight end out to the 30, tackled by Plumlee.
First team all-conference tight end, and this is a big reason why. Fine spot, the spot open in the middle of the field, good easy reception. See part of why he's the security blanket for Ty Pennington.
Gain of 23 there. Pennington again down the seam to his other tight end, Isaiah Jurena, and a couple of catches on the opening drive. Now it's a 1st and goal for Northern Arizona.
And this is the answer if you're Northern Arizona to try to get some pressure off of your quarterback. Being able to hit these seam routes, that will loosen up this secondary that's been so close to the line of scrimmage in this first half.
Pickup of 24 there. Hubbard to the edge, and he is dropped. Kagan Roach. Loss on the play for the Jacks.
Roach was a guy that this staff singled out, being a great energy, brings sort of a lunch pail guy, brings a great energy and enthusiasm every week. You see, this is 78% scoring efficiency. This is not one of the better red zone offenses in the country, but Roach loved hearing his head coach, Keith Patterson, brag on him and what he means to this defense.
Now you saw ranking 81st in the FCS. There are 123 schools in the FCS. So, yeah, this has been a struggle at times for the Jacks. 2nd and goal. Pennington, again it's Roach bringing the pressure, and Pennington throws it to the 3rd row.
And I'm not sure that this ball got past the line of scrimmage. That's the conversation they're having right now. They're not going to throw.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The passer was outside the tackle box, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. 3rd down.
And I'm not sure that I agree with where that ball landed and where it crossed out of bounds. I don't think that got to the 9-yard line. This will be another look at it. Kagan Roach getting after the quarterback. Ty Pennington trying his best to get rid of this football. To me, I did not think that got past the line.
Yeah, he needed to get it to the 9-yard line. Looked awfully close from our vantage point. It's 3rd and goal. Pennington protected this time. And he hits Eastman, who is knocked out inside the 1. Jordan Mukes with the hit. 4th and goal, decision time for the Lumberjacks.
And this is close. He is all over the pylon. Good throw from Ty Pennington, finding Eastman on the rail route. Watch as he secures this ball. That looks like it goes right over top of the pylon.
No kidding.
Take another look at that. I think this may have been a touchdown. Clearly in bounds. Good job securing the catch as he's getting hit from Jordan Mukes.
That certainly looked like a touchdown, but it's not. Going to go to review here. 4th and goal. Offense remains out there. Pennington hit in the backfield, and he's eaten alive. Elijah Moffitt was there first. Jordan Mukes joined him. And Abilene Christian stands tall.
Red zone defense. Second time they have bailed out their quarterback after an interception. And great job, bend but don't break. Coming up with a 4th down stop. Getting the ball back to their offense.
Tablet in hand for Brian Wright after his offense got stopped on 4th and goal. 7-0 Abilene Christian with the lead. This is the first round of the FCS playoffs. And, of course, the FCS championship continues with second-round coverage next Saturday on ESPN+. For more information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. The winner of this one heads to Fargo to meet the 2-seed North Dakota State, which has owned this level for so long. Sam Hicks with the carry as ACU takes over at their own 5. And Hicks bends out just past the 10 with a gain of 6.
Back-to-back interceptions from Carson Haggard. I think you'll see more touches for Sam Hicks, trying to get this to 2nd medium, 3rd and short, get the pressure off of your young quarterback. The way that Abilene Christian's defense is playing, I'm sure head coach Keith Patterson's telling Haggard, you need to eliminate the turnovers, let's settle down.
Martinez goes in motion. And give it to Hicks again. He's got a seam. Sam Hicks with a 1st down across the 20. Zach Lewis tripped him up.
Vision again from Sam Hicks. This is a great job working to the right side. Look at these lateral cuts. Boom, out to the right, back to the left. Looks like the footwork drills you see running backs do in warm-ups. Really impressed in the early part of this game with Sam Hicks.
Taylor, it's hard to believe this is Hicks' 2nd year playing the position. Grew up as a receiver, got moved there last year at Central Michigan, now joins ACU, and he's a 1,000-yard rusher. How about Sam Hicks again? And squeezing through the hole for a good gain. Picks up 5.
I think this is the spot on a 2nd and medium. Maybe go back to some sort of play action. You'll have Blaine Taylor, top target at the top of the screen. Also have Trey Cleveland. They've swapped Trey Cleveland out to the top. And with a 2-back set, Nehemiah Martinez, another guy they like to use. See him line up in the backfield, sometimes screens to number 20, Martinez.
Martinez motions out. Instead, a toss to Hicks, who's hit right at the line. Boy, NAU read that well. Christopher Smith getting up bottom of the pile. Tommy Ellis, the all-Big Sky linebacker, in there as well.
And number 46, watch him scrape across. Number 4 right there. That's a great open field tackle for the captain, Tommy Ellis, a guy that when you watch Northern Arizona on tape, we told them on the coach's call, it seems like number 46 is in or around the play every single snap. Even if he's on the other side of the field, he makes up ground, plays with tremendous effort.
Former walk-on Taylor, Brian Wright, put him on a full scholarship this year when he took over. Impressed him that much before he even played a snap for him. 3rd and 5. Haggard pulls the trigger. It's Taylor in stride with a 1st down. He's got the sideline. Does he have the speed? Tripped up inside the 30. Huge gain on 3rd down to the 26.
And a great job from Nehemiah Martinez. That's what sets the pick and how you see Blaine Taylor come that wide open on the shallow cross. It was man defense all set up. Just a little bit of a clip from Nehemiah Martinez.
47 yards there for Blaine Taylor, who's gone over 1,000 yards on the season today. Now back to the Wildcat in Nehemiah Martinez. And Martinez plows inside the 25.
After Martinez had the big gain on the first look that we saw with Abilene Christian in this Wildcat package, Northern Arizona settled in. Last 2 carries for Martinez haven't had much. I wonder if there's any sort of wrinkle out of that Wildcat package.
Love to see if Martinez can throw out of that too. Haggard back in there, 2nd and 9. Hicks clipped at the 20, flag down from behind the play as McLaughlin got low.
This may be on Jacob Thielen, thrown right at the feet of the 4-year starter at guard.
Offense, number 59, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Saw his man go to the ground right on top of Jacob Thielen. One of the anchors of this offensive line, been around here a long time, 4-year starter, called with the hold on a drive that seemed like everything had gone the way of Abilene Christian. First negative play we see go backwards. 59 right in the center of your screen. He gets that arm wrapped around Tommy Ellis, sort of twists him and tackles him to the ground right in front of our head referee, Jeremy D'Angelo.
Boy, this is a veteran offensive line too. Few multi-year starters up front. 2nd and 19, swing it to Hicks. Gifted as a receiver as well. Hicks with a block, and Hicks has a touchdown. There is a flag down back near the 20, however. It might be on Jed Castles, the tight end, who freed him up.
Holding, offense, number 88, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And that's exactly who it was, as it nullifies a 35-yard touchdown.
And Jed Castles, I want you to watch his left arm. He gets outside the frame. It's hard to see from that angle, but his really holding on both sides. This is a great look. Look at his left hand. That is a clear and obvious hold as he's matched up against Canyon Moses, the corner. Easy call. Takes away a touchdown off the board from Abilene Christian.
Yeah, so back-to-back penalties here, wiping out a 7-yard run, and now the touchdown for Hicks. So 2nd and 12 after the holding call, the spot foul. Martinez almost always in motion. Haggard faked the swing pass, lost the football, and was able to jump on top of it there at the 31. So a loss of about 3 there as Tommy Ellis was lurking.
I said at the end of the first quarter this had been pretty clean. I'd like to take that back.
Yeah, sure.
3 straight penalties with the purple jerseys walking backwards. I think a 3rd straight call going against Abilene Christian by the look of things right now.
I mean, after that 3 and out to start, they've moved it so well, and how this drive is bogged down because of the penalties.
Having a conversation with Brian Wright on whether or not he wants to accept it or take what would be a 3rd and about 16 or 17. Long conversation.
Holding, offense, number 55, 10-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Alan Hatton, number 55 right there. It's his turn to get the left hand outside the framework of like Foho Ching that he was matched up with, and now going backwards again. What was almost another scoring drive for Abilene Christian, going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you see the penalty yards on the season. They rank middle of the pack on average in the FCS, but already 65 yards today. 2nd and 22, the swing to Hicks. And Hicks twirled down by Ellis at the 35. Gain of about 3.
But a good job by Zach Lewis and Tommy Ellis, the leaders of this defensive unit. The Christian sideline asking for a flag. I'm not sure if they thought it was a face mask on Sam Hicks. This drive, we've seen a ton of Tommy Ellis. He's been all over the field.
Brian Wright told us day 1, his strength coach Matt Summers said about Ellis, this guy is a dominant competitor. It's what they talk about in the weight room. That's who Ellis is. And it's translated to the field. 3rd and 19. They run it with Hicks. They're going to set up Ritzy Vase for a more manageable field goal. This is within Vase's range, and Hicks is inside the 30, tackled by Ellis. So from here, it is roughly a 47, 48-yard field goal. Vase hit a 54-yarder to beat Northern Colorado back in September. A grad transfer from Division II Midwestern State. Been a big pickup in the portal this year for ACU. Officially a 46-yard field goal. To add to the lead. And Vase connects. Born in Belgium, raised in France. Oui, that's good for Ritzy Vase. And it's a 10-0 lead for ACU. Now a two-score lead for Abilene Christian here in the first round of the FCS playoffs. Late first half, Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg, our entire crew. Such a big day for Abilene Christian. It's their first playoff game of any kind since 2011 when they were still in Division II. Now, in their 12th year in Division I, in the FCS, their first ever playoff game. They get to host it here in Abilene as a national seed, the 15th seed. And what a start to this one, again, without their star quarterback, Maverick McIver.
And their backup having thrown 2 first-half interceptions, and their defense standing on their head. Back-to-back possessions after those turnovers. Had the 4th down stop, a takeaway of their own in the end zone. Great interception from Dorian Plumley. I think that's been the story of the game to this point, that defense for Abilene Christian.
The sophomore Kyler Meskey to kick away. Fair catch called for. And Taylor Neer takes it right there. So Northern Arizona will start from the 25. Again, they were on the doorstep moments ago. 4th and goal inside the 1. Could not put it in. Northern Arizona has been stymied at every turn.
Need to get back to, we saw some of it on the last drive, but get back to the ground game with Seth Cromwell. Setting up second manageable, 3rd and short. I think also, as Northern Arizona had some success on that last drive, attacking the seams with their tight ends. Leading tight end, leading receiver, Bryze White and Isaiah Jarina.
Here's one of the trick plays for Northern Arizona. On the reverse, it's Eastman. And he's corkscrewed down just across the 30. Gain of about 8. Last week against Eastern Washington, they scored 2 touchdowns on trick plays.
Yeah, and this offensive staff talked to us about with Brian White, also Ryan Larson, coming from Pittsburgh State and their proximity to Kansas. And a lot of inspiration from Andy Kotelnicki, who was at Kansas, now Penn State, and all the trick plays that they ran at KU during his time in Lawrence.
They had the backup quarterback, P.J. London, in the backfield on that play. Now Pennington trying to set up a screen, and Abilene Christian snuffs it out. Kirby Cohealy makes the tackle immediately on Bryze White.
46, left side of the screen, all over this play. Diagnoses it. That's a great play for really good linebacker. Big, 6'4", 220 pounds. Really more like a safety frame that they have down in the box playing linebacker.
3rd and 2 for the Jacks as we approach the 2-minute timeout. Pennington on the draw. And Pennington, spinning his way to the line to gain. He got it only with that second effort against Roach and Cohealy.
And both.
That is a 2-minute timeout.
Or warning, whatever you want to call it. New to college football this year. 2-minute timeout. Northern Arizona trying to put something together here at the end of the half. We check out the schedule for the FCS playoffs. First round games today, 24-team bracket. The top 8 seeds have first round byes to the second round, which is next Saturday. Of course, it all builds to the championship now on a Monday night in prime time, January 6th in Frisco, Texas. That's about 2.5 hours to the east from here in Abilene, down I-20. Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg out of the 2-minute timeout Northern Arizona with a first down. They have all 3 timeouts. Just trying to cobble something here. Shut out to this point. Swing it to Seth Cromwell, and he gains 3 yards there, tackled by Kohili. It feels imperative, Taylor, that they get something here because ACU has the ball to start the second half.
I was just about to say the exact same thing, Ted. I think for momentum going into half, even if it's just a field goal, you want to come away with some sort of points if you're the Lumberjacks on this drive.
Cromwell taken down in the backfield, stood up by Jerry Lawson, who's been active in the middle, the sophomore from Breckenridge.
This is one of my favorite guys in this entire matchup on both sides. The converted running back to interior defensive lineman. Look how quick he gets across the face of number 72, Ethan Kramer. Really disruptive from that 3 technique spot.
Jerry Lawson is cash money. 3rd and 7. Approaching a minute to play in the half. Ty Pennington on the move. Kelly giving chase, and Pennington has to throw it away. Man, Kelly, the nickel for Abilene Christian, he has lived in the backfield today.
Been all over the field. And Isaiah Kelly, they've moved him around quite a bit. This time he's right in the interior. He gets the swim move past Ethan Kramer, getting after the quarterback, but they've had him down in the box, getting after the run game, this time getting after the quarterback. We say it again, this was not something we expected. Abilene Christian the last 2 weeks, going back to their matchup with Stephen F. Austin and Tarleton State. Really farther than that, giving up a lot of production, but today playing outstanding.
Aquila boots it, and Martinez fields it on the hop, avoided the first man, and he pays for it as he's dropped at the 15. But ACU now 47 seconds, all 3 timeouts on their side.
Yeah, well, you have your backup quarterback in the game that has 2 interceptions. So I think if you are Abilene Christian here, you're going to take maybe 1 shot and see if you can get your drive going. And it's something conservative, maybe a screen, something that's a bootleg. Give him something that he feels confident in. Because on the other side, Northern Arizona, they still have 3 timeouts. So if it's 3 straight incompletions, what you don't want to have happen is Northern Arizona get an opportunity on the other side before half. I think you'll see 1 look here. If anything pops, they'll get into their 2-minute drive.
Started with Hicks, and he plunges across the 20-yard line. Gain of 4 or 5 there as Carlos Rivera makes the tackle. Clock rolling here at 35 seconds. We'll see how aggressive they really want to be, and it doesn't appear as if they want to be.
And you're seeing Brian Wright for Northern Arizona not using his timeouts either. So, again, on that first down play, you hand that off to Sam Hicks. If that pops, then you get back on the line and say, okay, now we're going to get into our 2-minute process. But I think with the 2 first-half interceptions from Carson Haggard, and you're taking a 10-0 lead and getting the ball coming out of half, I think it's smart here from Abilene Christian to take the lead into halftime.
And Keith Patterson probably couldn't have drawn up a better first half without his star quarterback.
That is the end of the first half.
Maverick McIver because of injury. The defense bowing its neck against Northern Arizona here in the first round of the FCS playoffs. And the Wildcats have a 10-0 lead at home here at the break. You see their record when they lead heading into the locker room. 10-0 Abilene Christian led by their defense. The touchdown by Trey Cleveland. Coming up, we will have an ode to offensive linemen as we have the halftime report from right here in Abilene. Halftime here in Abilene, the first round of the FCS playoffs on Thanksgiving weekend. We know it's time for seconds and thirds. Well, what about a tribute to the guys who know how to fill up a plate? Here's Sir Kevin Connors with an ode to O-linemen.
An ode to the O-line, the men in the trenches, gallant, lion-hearted, nurturing, Renaissance men, the real skill position guys. Who needs a sleek number 88 anyway? Wherefore art thou number 68? Strong as an ox, slim as a keg. To err is human, Mr. Line Judge. The defense doth protest too much. Pass rushers diverge and take the road less traveled when it comes to these earth movers. Tread softly round Kelvin Banks at Texas, impenetrable as an armored truck. Cam Ward may bask in the spotlight in Miami, but whenceforth does his protector Jalen Rivers get shine? Do not go gentle into that good night against Wyatt Milam at West Virginia. And no more shall the contributions of Will Campbell be overlooked. A pancake man focused on saving the bacon in Baton Rouge. A Johnny Cornelius, a majestic peak rising high above Eugene. Methinks I shall never see an elite mauler like Minnesota's Ariante Ursery. And lest we forget the many dashing centers who snap the ball to the big uglies at quarterback, from Parker Brailsford at Alabama to Cooper Mays at Tennessee. Oh, Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bulldozers who dominate and devastate, and know when they know, and know when you know, and know when they know that you know they have taken your will.
Whether you're in the FBS or the FCS, any offense is thankful for the guys up front. We're at the half. Abilene Christian and Northern Arizona in the first round of the FCS playoffs. More to come here in the half. At the half here in the first round of the FCS playoffs, Abilene Christian, the number 15 national seed, up 10-0 over Northern Arizona out of the Big Sky. Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg, our entire crew. Let's take a look at the bracket. This is one half, of course, 24 teams overall. This is the right side of the bracket. The winner of this one, Taylor, will meet the 2 seed, the 9-time champs. They won 9 in 11 years. North Dakota State, that's before South Dakota State won the last 2 in the FCS. And we already have a final on this side of the bracket, Taylor, as Rhode Island, the 10 seed, knocks off Central Connecticut State 21-17. So Rhode Island advances to play Mercer next week.
And a chance for Rhode Island. That's a Mercer team. A really successful year a year ago, even after losing their head coach. Really good year for Mercer. But this is all still going to run through that region of the Dakotas. South Dakota State, North Dakota State, Montana is sitting there, the 14th seed, always a really tough out. And this will be a challenge for the winner of this game, Abilene Christian or Northern Arizona. It seems like every year, once we get to the quarterfinals and semifinals, you're pitted against one of those teams from the Dakotas. And then on the other side, New Hampshire, UT Martin, they will have the tough task of going to number 1 overall seed Montana State.
Yeah, final there is the Skyhawks from Tennessee Martin beat the 16 seed New Hampshire on the road. So UT Martin, you're right, heading to Bozeman now to face the top seed undefeated Montana State with touchdown Tommy Malott. And also Illinois State, the 12 seed, moving past SEMO. So Illinois State and UC Davis matchup in the second round next Saturday. Tarleton State from the same conference as ACU in action right now against Drake, also right here on ESPN+. Here in Abilene, a 10-0 lead for the Wildcats thanks to Trey Cleveland. Thumbs down from the 6th-year senior. ACU with the lead. Beautiful day in the Big Country and a historic day in the Big Country. You're in Abilene, Texas. Abilene Christian up 10-0 over Northern Arizona in their first ever FCS playoff game. 12 years at this level, and they've got the lead. Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg with you here from Wildcat Stadium. The story of the game with Abilene Christian without their star quarterback, Maverick McIver, it's been the defense and how they have locked down Northern Arizona.
No doubt. And even with the 2 first-half interceptions that we've seen from Abilene Christian, that 4th down stand and the interception that was created by this Abilene Christian defense, it's been an unbelievable effort. And this wasn't a defensive performance that I think we saw coming just by how Abilene Christian had played through most of the season. I think they've had a phenomenal plan for how to attack this Northern Arizona offense to this point in the game.
The defense has quite simply been watertight. They give up 31-plus points per game coming in. Nothing so far.
And it's been really from all 3 areas of the defense. Jerry Lawson's been really active. This was the interception by Dorian Plumlee to get the ball back for Abilene Christian. Also seen Kagan Roach, he's been involved. Will Schaefer, Kirby Kohili, sort of all taken their opportunities. That was the fourth down stop that was massive for Abilene Christian. And Jordan Mukes coming up from his corner spot to get them off the field. But I think you see the total production for Northern Arizona, less than 100 yards of total offense. I think that is by far the biggest stunner in this game. And if it wasn't for the 2 interceptions by Abilene Christian, I think this could be even a 3 or 4 score margin.
Those 2 interceptions on back-to-back possessions, penalties, bogged down another drive for ACU, but they have been in control. And Abilene Christian has the ball to start the second half, which will come your way next from right here in Abilene. It's the first round of the FCS playoffs. The winner heads to Fargo. You're watching the first round of the NCAA Division I Football Championship. Getting ready for the start of the second half here in Abilene, Texas, the big country. ACU, the Wildcats, the 15-seed champions of the United Athletic Conference, up 10-0 over Northern Arizona. Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg, and listen, NAU needs somebody to get rolling offensively. Target number 1 would be their tight end and leading receiver, Bryce White.
He's first team all-conference for a reason and came into this season over 500 yards receiving, 4 touchdowns. I think that needs to be somebody who saw a couple targets to the tight end group over the middle of the field. Isaiah Jarena involved as well, but I think specifically Bryce White for Northern Arizona to get back in this game and potentially win this game. I think White needs to have a bigger impact in the second half.
You saw the numbers, the 2 catches in the first half. NAU couldn't really sustain much. Brian Wright, the head coach, doubles as the offensive play caller. It's been a creative offense all season long. Saw the one-trick play that ended up as a 7-yard gain. Might see him reach into that bag a little more often here in the second half. And for ACU, with Carson Haggard making his first career start, Maverick McIver, the star quarterback, 3rd leading passer in the country, out with a concussion today. And Haggard, outside of those 2 interceptions, which came on back-to-back drives, has been pretty solid.
Really efficient, 12 of 16, 142 yards and a touchdown. If you told him coming into this game that would be your first half and you'd have the lead, you'd be thrilled with that. It was the 2 interceptions, both of which I think were just forced. And if you're in the second half for Abilene Christian and head coach Keith Patterson, you're telling your young quarterback, let's take care of the football as well as their defense is playing.
Marcus Lai gets us started with the kick through the end zone. And Abilene Christian has it at the 25. So yeah, you saw the numbers for Haggard. Coaches were confident that he would be able to run the air raid at a similar level. Maybe not to the degree of Maverick McIver, who's close to 4,000 yards on the year. But they loved his pedigree, started his career at Tulane. And again, you see the numbers so far outside of those mistakes, the 2 turnovers. ACU has moved it well. And they start with a run for Nehemiah Martinez. He's knocked back. So Martinez lined up in the backfield there, and he ran right into Tommy Ellis, who's been busy today.
How many times have we called the name of Tommy Ellis, captain right in the middle, number 46. This will be coming from the left side of the screen. Bang, right there. Feels like, again, anytime there's a play that's made in the box or near the line of scrimmage, number 46 in white is around.
Loss of a yard. Haggard downfield for Taylor. Could not reel it in against DJ Van Hook. That is Taylor's game, though, at 6'5", as a deep threat.
And second time they've gone to Blaine Taylor on the deep shot to the outside. I'd like to see a little more air on that ball. That really should have been a catch from Blaine Taylor. Right off of the fingertips. I think number 13, Blaine Taylor, will tell you he needs to come down with that ball. But as a quarterback, you've got a guy at that height advantage over number 4, Van Hook. I'd like to see a little more air on that ball.
So ACU needs 11 here on third down to start the third quarter. They were 3 of 5 on third down in the first half. Haggard right back to Taylor. This time he brings it in. Did he get foot down? Yes, he did. At the 47-yard line on 23-yard hookup.
And go right back to that mismatch between Blaine Taylor and DJ Van Hook. This time it's a stutter and go. It's a hitch and then fake the hitch up the field. And a great job. Gets that right foot in bounds. This will be another good look at it. Does he maintain possession? I think he did. That is a catch and an unbelievable job. Much better throw there from Carson Haggard. And Blaine Taylor able to come down with it for the first down.
The previous call on the field of a completed pass is under further review.
So the officials will take a closer look at it. Boy, it looked clear on the replay that we had.
Yeah, I would imagine this will be a quick review. This is a great look at it. That right foot clearly in bounds. There's separation. There's some green area between his foot and the white. And then I think the other piece that they'll be looking at is, does he survive the ground with the ball? And from the 2 looks that we had, I didn't see anything that would cause you to overturn this. Clear in that right arm. There's no movement. Yeah, Ted, I think this will be confirmed as a catch and would imagine this will be a quick review for our crew.
And when we were talking with Keith Patterson this week, ACU's head coach, Taylor's in his 3rd year with the program, same as Patterson. They brought him in from Cisco College, about 45 miles down I-20 to the east here from Abilene. Taylor was a basketball player in high school in Saginaw, Texas, western part of the Metroplex. So he switches to football pretty late in his high school career, raw, but he's got the frame at 6'5", worked on his game at the junior college level, and Patterson said, I knew he could become the player that he is now. It just took some time.
And I think what's most impressive to me about Blaine Taylor is there's not just one route type that he gravitates to. Obviously, the deep ball, we've seen that featured a couple times. That is a huge element of his game, but is a really good route runner for a guy that, like you said, hasn't been playing football for that long. Works back to the ball well, has a good understanding of finding soft spots in zone coverage. That's a big reason why he is the leading target, formerly for Maverick McIver before he got injured, but again today for Carson Haggard.
He's the kind of player that you see so often at the FCS level, that late bloomer. Here's the call from Jeremy D'Angelo.
After further review, the ruling on the field has been confirmed. It is a completed pass. First down, ACU.
Yeah, and they want to make sure that Taylor controlled it on his way out of bounds, and it certainly appeared that he did all of that. Got the right foot down clearly, and it is a catch. Well, Taylor had a huge game in week 1 against Texas Tech and Lubbock. 7 grabs for 141 yards and a 71-yard touchdown. And on his way to another big day today. Getting a breather now, first down, and a swing pass to Martinez. This has been a common look today, and Martinez is lucky to make it back to the line of scrimmage. Christopher Smith wrapped him up.
Almost any time you see number 20, Nehemiah Martinez, split out wide, if he's at the wide side, they'll bring him back in motion. And that time, Christopher Smith all over that design. Another screen, get an easy touch to Nehemiah Martinez, but good open field tackling from the senior from Auburn, Georgia.
Martinez looked at there on the side. Coming out for this play at least, 2nd and 10. And Haggard dials it up. Cleveland! He plucks it inside the 40 of Northern Arizona with a first down.
I think we're going to get tempo from Abilene Christian here to try and get this snap off. This was close on whether he came down in bounds with the ball.
So right back to the line, and the whistles blow right on cue, Taylor.
The previous call on the field of a completed catch is under further review.
So put this one under the microscope.
Yeah, there's no question that he catches the ball. It's where is that foot? And I think this will be another confirmed catch. Right foot down. It has possession. It looked bang bang between when that right foot was in bounds and when it came off the ground. This will be a great look at it. Clear possession of the football. It's really about where that foot is in bounds. The other look that we had was more telling on where that right foot was in bounds, and this is this will be the best look we have at it. Right here, that right foot. I think this will be upheld. Another bang-bang play. And understand this crew wanting to get it right. But another good catch. First one on this drive from Blaine Taylor, that time Trey Cleveland. And Ted, I think it feels like getting some more confidence under Carson Hager. Those were both really good, accurate throws from Hager.
And attacking downfield as well, not just around the line of scrimmage to Martinez and the backs. You know, in Cleveland, you contrast it with Taylor's story, transferring up from junior college. Cleveland spent 5 years in the FBS before dropping down to the FCS. 4 years at Texas Tech, last year at North Texas, and spending his 6th year, his final year of college football with ACU.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. It is a completion, first down.
15-yard pass, it stands.
And a good play design as well. It was a bubble, faking that bubble to the outside to Hut Graham. Really two different options. Could have thrown the post to J.J. Henry or Trey Cleveland, but seeing that confidence build for Carson Hager.
Martinez again in motion. It's Hicks, bending it to the outside, and Hicks with a good run. Close to the 30. He picks up 6.
Vision, again, we keep saying that about Sam Hicks, but bottled up in the interior. May not look like much, just a 6-yard run, but what looked like maybe tackled at the line ends up getting them to second and medium.
Didn't play a lot the last 2 years at Central Michigan, just wanted an opportunity. He's capitalized on it here at ACU. Sam Hicks. Swing it to Martinez. And Martinez driven out of bounds by Canyon Moses, the Midland, Texas native, about 150 miles to the west, coming back to his home state.
And it's the second time on this drive. Abilene Christian's tried to throw this swing pass screen to the outside to Nehemiah Martinez, and both times it's been blown up by Northern Arizona. That time it was Canyon Moses doing a great job fighting upfield, not letting number 20 Nehemiah Martinez get that corner, and now setting up a 3rd and long for his defense.
Moses redshirted last year at Arizona, now at Northern Arizona, and it's 3rd and 8.
Zero blitz look here. If I'm Haggard, I'm going to the boundary to Blaine Taylor one-on-one.
See if the Jacks bring the heat. They do. Haggard finds Cleveland well short of the sticks, though, and a good tackle right there at the 34. 4th down for ACU.
And good communication at the top, passing that off. It was man defense, but that side of the field, recognizing the screen, able to pass that off and rally to the football. There's not a lot of wind today, Ted, but this is the direction, kicking a little bit back into the wind, going in this direction. I think that's what's causing the punt attempt here.
Boy, it's interesting because this is, on a day without wind, I think within Vasa's range. But the decision is to punt with Grant Nickel. Would have been a 51-yard attempt from there. Lands inside the 5. Do they save it from the end zone? No, it's a touchback.
Timeout on the field.
Just inches away from downing it at the 1. Carson Finney couldn't quite save it. Check out the heels. Yep, he's in the purple. It's a touchback. Northern Arizona has it back. Abilene Christian up 10-0, 3rd quarter here in the first round of the FCS playoffs. And let's take a closer look at the format. You know, hey, the expanded playoff finally coming to the FBS this year with 12 teams. We've had 24 here in the FCS for a few years. The top 8 seeds receive the first round byes. They'll be in action starting next week in the 2nd round. Of course, all 1st and 2nd round games right here on ESPN+. First round, you got games all day. In fact, you have the last game today in Missoula, Montana against Tennessee State, late tonight on ESPN2. But here, 10-0 Abilene Christian, and we had a review during the break. Were they looking at the punt, and if Finney really did save it there? Let's see. Ready when you are, Jeremy D'Angelo. Are we going to get a call?
After further review, the punt returner, the kicking team possessed the ball at the half-yard line. By rule, the ball is dead. It'll be 1st and 10 NAU at the half-yard line.
And so one more look here. Check out Carson Finney, 21. Don't go into the end zone. Well, let's take a look. Were his heels up as he contacted the ball, toe in the green?
Ted, I've got no idea. When he has possession of that ball, he's touching the end line. And where he's at physically, where the ball is as he possesses it, I don't understand how that got overturned for Northern Arizona. To me, that should have gone out to the 25-yard line.
Agreed. I think that was clear, but so instead of having it at the 25 with the touchback, Ty Pennington has to sneak it across just for somewhat of a cushion for Brian Wright and his offense. Shut out to this point, and now the longest field imaginable. Hit at the goal line. ACU thinks it's a safety, but Cromwell did get out there. Marked at the half-yard line.
The runner got out of the end zone, 3rd down.
Kirby Cohealy again delivering the hit.
He gets out on that first contact, but it's not by much. It's not on the second hit. It's really on that first contact from Tyson Williams. That's where you see got out to that half-yard line. Now, if you're Northern Arizona, just trying to create any sort of breathing room for your punt team.
And now Pennington's back in the gun in his own end zone. And he's got to throw. Pennington whistles it to an open Lanier. He got behind the defense. Lanier with a massive play and a 1st down, gain of 38.
And Tyson Williams loses where his man is at on this play. Great job standing in under pressure and delivering a strike to the outside to Tay Lanier. But that was just a bust in coverage by Tyson Williams on the double move from receiver Tay Lanier.
And just the kind of play that Northern Arizona needed to spark this offense. It's by far their longest play today. Cromwell. And tugged down by Kagan Roach. Gain of a yard.
It is a physical dude on the end of that defensive line. Kagan Roach from Salina. I loved his defensive staff and head coach Keith Patterson, how much they bragged on Roach and what he means to this defense. Called his name a bunch today.
Another one of those guys for ACU that's enjoying a late career breakout. Barely played at North Texas in his time there, and he's played a huge role with Abilene Christian. Cromwell motions into the backfield and motions out. Pennington fires. That's caught. And it's a 1st down for Tyre Brooks, the junior from Oakland. Mukes had the coverage.
And a good play design using motion. That creates that one-on-one. See up at the top of the screen. Brooks matched up against Jordan Mukes, and good accurate throw and an even better catch from Brooks.
And Brooks has the height to contend with Mukes, both at 6'3". Able to wall him off there for the catch. And a gain of 11. Now the handoff to Eastman. Throw it back to Pennington. Flea flicker. Downfield. Dangerous throw into double coverage, and it's incomplete. Brooks was the man he was trying to locate. Plumlee and Williams were there defensively, and there's a flag down at midfield, far side.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 73 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
Well, we talked about Northern Arizona going in their bag on these double passes. This is one where you have to see Ralph Frias, the third. He's 10 yards down the field when that ball comes out of Ty Pennington's hands. But if you go back a week ago, their first 2 touchdowns of the game, both in the first half against Eastern Washington, both came on trick plays, one on a flea flicker and another on a double pass. So really a lot of these trick plays for Northern Arizona.
Probably won't be the last one we see today. 1st and 15 now. Swing it to Lanier. It's off his hands. That's a forward pass, and it's incomplete. Taylor, you think with Frias there, he believes that Eastman is actually running with it, and that's why he's trying to get upfield? He should know the play call, right?
Not sure what the miscommunication is, but you could see the rest of the offensive linemen hovering around where the line of scrimmage was. They start out to the left and then peel back to the right. This will be a great, this is the drop just a second ago from Taylor Lanier. Fortunate that didn't get tipped up in the air to an Abilene Christian defender, but another empty look. This look has been where Abilene Christian has dialed up pressure to this point in the game.
Northern Arizona stays empty this time. No motion. Pennington steps up. There's pressure again from ACU. And the sack for Abilene Christian comes from Luke Gams, the sophomore from Wichita Falls.
Nowhere to go with the football downfield. They just rushed 4, even with the empty look. And that time, that is the definition of a coverage sack. Nowhere to go with the ball. Allows Luke Gams to get home. And the sack for the sophomore from Wichita Falls.
Now 2.5 sacks on the year for Gams. And it's 3rd down. And from here to Cisco. 20 yards needed. Just a 3-man rush. Pennington climbs the pocket. And Pennington is able to churn his way to the 48. Moffitt and Wright knock him down. Needed 11 more there, and it's 4th down.
If you take any positive out of this drive for Northern Arizona, remember this was down to what looked like was going to be coming out to the 25-yard line. They reverse it back to the half-yard line. And that deep shot on the outside of Taylor Lanier gave at least some breathing room to flip the field. But credit to Abilene Christian holding firm again in this bid to pitch a shutout.
D'Aquila, his leg has gotten a workout today. Martinez comes up to field it, just past the 10-yard line. He scoots out of bounds. ACU will have it around the 15. How about this ACU defense here today? Luke Gams getting in on the act. Wildcats still pitching a shutout. Nice crowd for Abilene Christian's first ever FCS playoff game. They're up 10-0 over Northern Arizona. 3rd quarter, Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg, our entire crew. Carson Haggard again starting for the injured Maverick McIver, one of the very best quarterbacks in the FCS. So how did Keith Patterson find him? Well, he leaned on a good friend of his, guys worked with multiple spots. Mike Norvell, of course, the head coach at Florida State, tipped him off about Haggard as a Florida native from Miami, was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school and had offers from Southern Miss, FIU, in addition to Tulane, which is where he ended up. Transfers after Willie Fritz left Tulane for Houston, and he lands here at ACU. So 1st down at the 15 for Haggard and the Wildcats. And here is Hicks, and he is hemmed in. Zach Lewis comes up to hit him along with Brandon Wong. Lost a yard on the play.
You get down over 20 minutes left of game time. I think if you're Northern Arizona, you start to sell out to try and create some negative plays. I would expect more pressure here, more man coverage on the outside, try to get after Carson Haggard and force another interception or negative play. I think the way their offense has struggled, this defense, one of the top units in the country, has to step up.
Haggard whips it to Martinez for the 1st down. Across the 25.
And there's that confidence that we talked about with Haggard building. There's pressure to his right side. He stands firm, delivers a good throw. Look at the top of the screen. He has to step up. He's got bodies around him. and that's a strike over the middle to Nehemiah Martinez. That's one of the better throws of the day for Carson Haggard.
Quick decision, too. As a quarterback yourself, got to love to see that.
Another pressure look from Northern Arizona. They back out of it now. A little chess match at the line of scrimmage between these groups.
Haggard to the air again. Finds a safety valve in Sam Hicks. And Hicks has another first down. Just past the 40-yard line. Nice job of Haggard working through his reads there.
And a good job at the line of scrimmage as well. Standing firm, working to the left side. Takes a shot as well. Looked like Micah Carrion that gets home. Puts it on the number of his running back, Sam Hicks. Picks up another first down. Good quarterback play on this drive as we see more Nehemiah Martinez and Wildcat.
The Wildcat for the Wildcats. Martinez, the cutback. And a nice gain across the 45. Give him 5 yards. Ammon Allen, the Arizona transfer, just returned from an injury last week, made the tackle.
And a lot of credit to Carson Haggard on the first part of this drive. Standing in there, go back to that throw over the middle to Nehemiah Martinez. That was a really good, confident throw. And there's not a lot of answers right now for Northern Arizona. They're not able to get home. You're not seeing really any negative plays with the Wildcats going backwards at all.
Haggard back into the flat for Hicks. He left McLaughlin grasping at straws. And Hicks is inside the 30 of Northern Arizona. Another big gain through the air for Sam Hicks. 25.
Savvy from Sam Hicks. Watch, he knows right behind him Alex McLaughlin is trailing. So as soon as he catches that ball, slams on the brakes, Alex McLaughlin goes right by, able to extend that yards after catch, another 20 or so yards down the field. That was a great job from Sam Hicks, almost with eyes in the back of his head.
Now Hicks on the carry. And a hop to the 25, give him 3 yards.
How about this drive from Abilene Christian? Deep in their own territory to start, and they have clipped along, stayed ahead of the sticks as well. Haven't really had to face a third and long opportunity. Had the one right at the start, and that was that throw to Nehemiah Martinez. But the key pieces of this offense have stepped up on this drive. Nehemiah Martinez, also Sam Hicks.
And it's what you would hope with the backup quarterback getting the start. All of those weapons who've been so good with McIver all year, helping elevate Haggard in this situation. New running back is Rovon Banks Jr. And Banks plows to the 22-yard line. Pickup of 3 there. No Isaiah Johnson today for ACU, the number 2 running back. He's out with a foot injury, so more of Banks and Jordan Vaughn to spell Sam Hicks.
Banks, really good career at Tulsa Union. He's been in the 3rd spot. Jordan Vaughn, really big, 6'3", 235 pounds. If it gets into a short yardage spot, that may be when you see Vaughn check into the game.
See the 3rd down numbers today, 4 of 7. They need 4 yards here. Haggard taking a shot. Taylor, it's knocked away, but a flag. DJ Van Hook had the assignment for the Lumberjacks.
They've tested Van Hook a couple times in this second half.
Pass interference. Defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty. Carries an automatic first down.
And there was definitely some hand checking. This will be a great look at it. He's got a hold of that right side, not letting, yeah, that's an easy call, not letting Blaine Taylor get both hands up to the ball. And DJ Van Hook was in good position, in phase. That's where you'd like to see the corner try to work, get their head around, but not able to do that and too physical. That's an easy call.
And now a 1st and goal from the 7, a chance for Abilene Christian to go up 3 scores. Martinez, the motion man. It's Hicks slicing inside the 5. Picks up 3.
Get into short yardage. Do we see more of the Wildcat package? Because now the other big tight ends check into the game. Brian Henry, Jed Castle's in as well. See personnel matching on the other side from Northern Arizona with some of their big boys checking into the game. But 2 back here. Don't be surprised if they keep this in the hands of Nehemiah Martinez and Sam Hicks.
They join Haggard in the backfield on 2nd and goal. It's Hicks again, trying to find daylight. There is none. Micah Carrion, Alex McLaughlin are right there as the final seconds drip away here in the 3rd quarter. So 3rd and goal to start the 4th for Abilene Christian. FCS playoffs 1st round. ACU's on the welcome mat, looking to pad their lead. The wins here in the big country, Abilene, Texas, blowing Abilene Christian's way. 1st round of the FCS playoffs. We start the 4th quarter, ACU up 10-0. Again, without their quarterback, the injured Maverick McIver, Carson Haggard making his 1st career start. Ted Emmerich, Taylor McCarg, our entire crew. And Haggard has ACU 3rd and goal from the 5, trying to build on this lead. And a flag.
Ball start. Offense, number 87. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's on the tight end, Brian Itty Henry. Call him Itty, he's not so small anymore, 250 pounds, but 3rd and goal at the 5 just turned into 3rd and goal at the 10. What are you looking for here?
You've got Blaine Taylor in the slot. Any sort of corner route or switch route to the field.
And another flag.
Ball start. Offense, number 20. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And these are some of the issues that you see when you've got your backup quarterback in the game. Things like cadence.
Game clock operator. Thank you.
Thank you as well.
You're welcome,
Jeremy D'Angelo. Your process with your cadence is different when you have a new quarterback in the game. He's checking at the line, working through it. It's a little bit different. I think that's where you're seeing some of these issues with the pre-snap cadence and back-to-back false starts.
So try 3rd and goal from the 15. Haggard throws low. Oh, was that picked? It was picked. Intercepted by Tommy Ellis. He scooped it off the ground. It's the 3rd interception of the day for Haggard. And ACU comes up empty.
This will be all about the right hand.
Ruling on the field with an interception. 1st down NAU.
That right hand for Tommy Ellis looks like it's under the football. From that angle, at first glance, I thought this went off the turf. But his right hand is under the ball. Ted, I think that's an interception. I don't think that hit the turf.
The only question is the nose of the football pointed at Ellis. Here's another angle. Man, did that hit the turf? Did he have control of it as he made the dive?
Is there any movement on the ball? To me, right there, that looks secure. There's no wiggle after that. He has that right.
Previous play of an interception. It's under further review.
And no surprise that they're going to look at this. But the way that we've seen reviews go today, to me, that looks like it'll stand, but we'll see when we come back.
They'll take a look at it. We'll take a look at it. And we'll have the call right after this. Carson Haggard was just trying to get rid of it. I think he thought, anybody else could have thought that Tommy Ellis would even have a chance at this. Ruled an interception on the field, and they are still looking at it as we come out of the timeout.
And again, that ball, even if the nose touches on the back end there, he's got the hand under and the ball doesn't move afterwards. I think that's the most critical piece. After it maybe grazes the ground, touches the ground there, if it had wiggled, I think that's where the ground would have aided the catch for Tommy Ellis. But what a huge play. If this stands for your captain to come up with that spot, what would be the 3rd interception of the day for Carson Haggard.
I think that's the best look possible for Ellis and Northern Arizona. I think it's pretty clear there. Again, is there enough to overturn it? I don't think there is. Let's see. Here's the call.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. It'll be first down, NAU.
Tommy Ellis's third career interception. And what a time for it, as Abilene Christian had started this drive from their own 15, had 3rd and goal at the 5, couple of penalties, and then the pick.
And right back in it for Northern Arizona, really on the doorstep there. If that had been a touchdown drive for Abilene Christian, it would have been a 3-score game. Instead, new life for Northern Arizona, still trying to get on the board here at the start of the 4th quarter.
What has to change right now for the NAU offense in Taipei?
Staying on schedule, not getting the negative plays and moving in the wrong direction.
Cromwell cannot escape. Will Schaefer, ACU's leading tackler. He was an excellent special teamer across 4 years with Arizona State. Finally able to play more. He's taken advantage this year.
And fighting off the block of tight end Isaiah Jarina. To me, is the first down run game for Northern Arizona. It hasn't been there all game for the most part. I think this is where, in a comeback spot, Ty Pennington is going to have to start completing more shots, deeper targets, especially over the middle of the field, which we saw earlier.
Lanier goes in motion. Pennington trying to buy some time, hit by Roach, and he throws it away. Kagan Roach has been glued to Ty Pennington today.
There's really not anywhere to go with the football. Again, this is great coverage on the back end, and he takes a shot at Kagan Roach. Watch this at the end of the play. Just a little bit of a nudge, but another hit. Those add up over the course of the game. Now, 3rd and long opportunity, obvious passing down. Keep an eye in the middle. That's where Braze White is in the slot, matched up against Kirby Kohili.
See the struggles on 3rd down today for NAU. Pennington rifles. Lanier could not come up with it in bounds against Elijah Moffitt, and it's 4th down.
Ted, you asked at the start of this drive, what has to change? And we said, no negative plays. Stop going backwards. What happens on 1st down? It's a negative run play, loss of 3, and they end up behind the sticks the rest of the drive. And that, to me, has been Northern Arizona has not been able to create any sort of momentum, and it's a credit to this Abilene Christian defense.
Flag down on the punt. It's a false start.
False start. Offense. Half the distance to the goal. 4th down.
Closing in on 15 combined penalties between these two veteran groups, but not the most penalized, but especially today. This has been a lot of pre-snap procedure penalties.
And now D'Aquila heels near the end line. Martinez backtracks. Martinez across midfield, a good return. And ACU has it in Northern Arizona territory. And a man down in the end zone, R.J. Miles Jr. for ACU.
He need a timeout on the field.
So, concern for Miles. Hopefully he's okay. We'll step aside. Early 4th quarter. R.J. Miles Jr. helped off the field after the punt by D'Aquila. Hopefully he's all right. ACU takes over at the NAU 48. The FCS Championship coverage continues with the 2nd round next Saturday right here on ESPN+. More information, visit NCAA.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Yes, the winner of this one moves on to the 2nd round. Take on the 2 seed North Dakota State, the Bison, at the Fargo Dome next Saturday. Northern Arizona has done its best defensively to keep them in the game. They just came up with their 3rd interception of the day, and now they have to bow their neck again. Best starting field position of the day by far for ACU as Hicks makes it back to the line of scrimmage. Got stacked up by Ellis and Carry-On.
Northern Arizona, the issue is the lack of production, obviously, on offense. Still under 150 yards of total offense today. blanked on the scoreboard to this point, and a team that's been led by their defense doing everything they can to keep them in the game, but I think it's still going to take more of an effort from this Lumberjacks defense.
Now the shovel to Nehemiah Martinez. Ran that play in the first half. Martinez picks up a couple. Again, it's Tommy Ellis making the play defensively.
He's been everywhere. He is unbelievable. Captain of this defense. And I loved, you said it earlier, I loved how this defense, the staff described number 46, said that if they could have everybody in the building be like Tommy Ellis, that's the model. That's what they want everyone to emulate. And what an honor to have your coaching staff. That's how they describe you. What a leader for the Lumberjacks.
3rd and 8. Tunnel screen for Blaine Taylor, and he's tripped up by Carrion, the nose tackle. What a play, as Taylor had room there. He stopped 2 yards short.
And this definitely saves a first down and potentially more. Great job from Carrion to get out in space, gets just enough of Blaine Taylor to save the first down, but there was room to run for Taylor. Instead, gets his unit off the field. Good individual effort from Micah Carrion.
Really the anchor up front for Northern Arizona. You can't say enough about how this Lumberjack defense continues to compete here. Nickel the punt, and Eastman with the fair catch at the 5-yard line. So once again, poor field position for Northern Arizona. Can they do something with the ball? They need it next. Abilene Christian holding steady, 10-0 still over Northern Arizona. That was our score at the half. That's how it is here early in the 4th quarter. Check out the bracket here in the FCS playoffs. Getting underway today with the first round games, and a couple of winners already. Rhode Island, the 10 seed, Villanova, the 11 seed advancing. So chalk there. Again, the winner of this game will match up with the 2 seed, North Dakota State, in Fargo next Saturday afternoon. Check out Montana and Tennessee State tonight on ESPN2. Did have an upset on the other side of the bracket. Lehigh beating the 9 seed Richmond on the road 20-16. So Lehigh will meet the 8 seed Idaho. All right, Northern Arizona starting from their own 6. Taylor, can they avoid a negative play to start this drive? And it's a run by Darvon Hubbard. It's not negative, but wasn't positive either. Schaefer with the tackle, no gain.
Been relentless for this Abilene Christian defense. Coming into this game, this was just not how we thought this would go. It's been such a good effort, and the rushing attack for Northern Arizona has not been there. Trying again to go back to the well on first down, and no success, no gain on that first down carry.
Again, a reminder, this ACU defense gives up an average of 32 points a game this season. Pennington under duress, and he gets rid of it. Once again, Kagan Roach bearing down on Pennington.
And just winning his one-on-one again against left tackle Seth Smith. I think Kagan Roach is getting the best look right there, number 90. Seth Smith gets up too high, loses his leverage. Kagan Roach right around left tackle Seth Smith, getting home, and another shot taken by Ty Pennington. Another 3rd and long opportunity. This has been ACU mixed up different looks. The theme of this game, being able to get pressure with 4.
The Jacks' average need on 3rd down today has been 9 yards. They need 10 here. Pennington again with Roach tugging at him. And he goes down. Kagan Roach has been a monster.
He sells the upfield speed rush, and watch this spin move back to the inside. Gets all the way upfield, and then boom, spin move right there. Gets the shoulder pad of Ty Pennington, and back-to-back sacks for Kagan Roach, the 5th-year senior from Salina, who has been huge today for Abilene Christian.
And another dance like the big man for Kagan Roach on the sideline. Short punt from D'Aquila this time. Does take a Lumberjack roll, though, across the 50. And Abilene Christian has it at the
Immediate
47.
on the field.
Ty Pennington just has had no time today. And it's a lot because of that guy, Kagan Roach, an animal up front. Keith Patterson and Abilene Christian holding a 10-0 lead. His defense has played out of its mind today. Much maligned all year long, shutting out Northern Arizona here in the first round of the FCS playoffs. And listen, this team winning their first ever conference title in Division I football. He put this sign, champions of the United Athletic Conference, on the locker room doors before the season started. One of his favorite quotes, Taylor, if you aim at nothing, you'll surely hit it.
And I also love, they've got those stickers on the back of the helmet, WTB, weak things break. I think that mentality today you have seen for this Abilene Christian defense, not showing really any weakness at all three levels of their defensive unit.
10:26 left, nursing a 10-0 lead, and now Sam Hicks breaking through. Hicks bending to the end zone for the touchdown. A 53-yard statement from Sam Hicks.
And Hicks had been knocking on the door of breaking one loose all game, and for Northern Arizona, that bend but don't break defense finally caves. Blocked well in the interior. The rest of this is speed and vision one more time. Breaking to the left side off that corner, Al Ashford the rest of the way. And Sam Hicks stretching this to a 3-score lead.
Hicks just went over 100 yards on the day, 123 on 16 carries as Ritzy Vase adds the extra point, and now it is a 3-score lead for ACU. Slime time for Sam Hicks.
Watch how this opens up right in the interior. Boom, right there. Ted, you and I could have run through that hole. I don't think we would have finished off the run quite like Mr. Sam Hicks.
Giving me way too much credit.
But a great job by that offensive line, and then speed the rest of the way for the fifth-year senior from Fort Worth.
You know, when Hicks arrived, coming from Central Michigan in the MAC, so drops down from the FBS to the FCS, he told the coaching staff, I just want to play. I don't care where you put me. Slot receiver, which he played earlier in his career, running back, which he was just moved to last season at CMU. And so during camp, Keith Patterson says, wow, this guy's a lot better than we thought. We liked him, but man, he could carry the load.
And he's a smooth runner. We've seen it time and time again today. His vision working between the tackles, bouncing to the perimeter, putting together one of the best performances of his season.
Lanier on the return, and he gets smacked just past the 25. What a hit from T.J. Marshall. Sound up.
Well, if it wasn't already, I think all the momentum on the side of Abilene Christian, and now it's already do or die, but especially down 3 scores, just over 10 minutes to play. I think Ty Pennington and this Northern Arizona offense, they need to score on every possession the rest of the way.
And they've had a couple of 3-and-outs on their last 2 drives. Better field position this time, however. Not that that's saying a bunch. Pennington stepping up. And Kagan Roach and Jerry Lawson collapse on top of him after the gain of about 6.
I think this is the best game we've seen all season from Abilene Christian in terms of their secondary play. We've talked a lot about their ability to stop the run, but that right there, credit to Ty Pennington for picking up anything, but there's nowhere to go with the football. It's good coverage on the back end. They've been sticky all game, doing a nice job taking away Tay Lanier, Tyre Brooks, Bryze White, the top targets for Northern Arizona.
Pennington swings it to Hubbard, and he gets drilled. Isaiah Kelly. Loss of 4 on the play.
Well, Kelly's not fooled at all. Reads through this and beats the block of Bryze White. See how he swims across and meets Hubbard right at the point of attack. Blow that screenplay up.
The sirens are sounding for good reason for Northern Arizona's offense. Pennington is wrapped up again. David Oki this time. Chris Wright was back there as well. Big loss on the sack.
And it came again from that left side of the offensive line for Northern Arizona, getting collapsed down. If it wasn't Oki, any number of Wildcat defenders barreling down on Ty Pennington. And this defensive unit has taken over in this game, especially down the stretch. Also had Chris Wright in there as well. Another sack for this unit.
And DeQuilla with another punt. This is a good one. Martinez from the 26. And Martinez still on his feet to the 32. You just can't say enough about this Abilene Christian defense.
Going back, Northern Arizona, we talked about the trick plays, right? A week ago in the first half, in a must-win game against Eastern Washington, they were relying on trick plays to score points in that game. And I think the gimmicks have not worked to this point. We've seen a couple of them called for Northern Arizona, and to this point at least, Abilene Christian has not bid on them. And base offense has not gone anywhere for Northern Arizona. Have not been able to run the football. Downfield passing attack hasn't been there as well. And the defensive line for the Wildcats has taken over late.
Hicks after the 53-yard touchdown. Another big gain. Hicks has the sideline, and he's inside the 35. They say he stepped out at around the 37, actually. But man, now Sam Hicks really has the train on the tracks.
And Ted, I know I sound like a broken record, but look at the vision here. There's nowhere to go. Cuts this all the way back right there to the left side. That is so good from Sam Hicks. What looked like it may have been a 2 or 3 yard gain, he busts loose for another 25 yards.
Hicks, a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season. He's averaging 9 yards a carry today. His last 2 runs certainly helped that number. Give it to him again, why don't you? And Hicks dives across the 30.
And for as amazing the effort we've seen from Northern Arizona all game, I think you're finally seeing them wear down. This offensive line for Abilene Christian starting to lean on them. You're not getting any penetration of white jerseys going into the backfield. 18 carries for 160 yards and a score. Unbelievable day for Sam Hicks as we see Jordan Vaughn check into the game.
Now the Wyoming transfer in his second year with Abilene Christian, 235 pounds. Biggest back on the roster. He can help tenderize this defense some more. And Vaughn stopped a couple of yards short of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd down and 2 as we near the 6-minute mark.
And this win, barring a comeback here from Northern Arizona, it's massive for Abilene Christian, not only for the obvious reasons of you've won at home, you're moving on to the 2nd round, but they're doing all this, remember, without Maverick McIver, one of the best quarterbacks in all of FCS. Carson Haggard having to step in today. He's had 3 takeaways. I think they've won mainly in large part running the football and playing good defense, but you would hope if you're an Abilene Christian fan that you get McIver back next week on the road.
And we were told that there are encouraging signs toward that end as Nehemiah Martinez picks up the 1st down across the 25. You know, McIver was knocked out of the game last week on the road against Stephen F. Austin. Couldn't make it back in time, but they were hopeful if they could win today that McIver, again, the 3rd leading passer in the country, would be available next week for Keith Patterson and ACU. First down. Now it's Rovon Banks Jr. And Banks rams inside the 20 for a gain of 3. You know, to the point about Haggard making his first start today, the coaches have talked to McIver even all season.
Northern Arizona.
As
First of the
NAU
half, 30-second timeout.
calls the timeout here with 4:52 left. They have 2 remaining. They talked to McIver, they talked to all their quarterbacks about being a game manager in this air raid offense. And Taylor, you played the position at Rice. Won more games
Game
there than
clock operator,
anybody.
please reset the game clock to 4:55. 4:55.
We'll add 3 seconds for you, Jeremy. You're welcome. They talk about being a game manager. That can be a dirty word, right? They say it's not. In this offense, it's about getting it to your playmakers in space. And listen, has he made mistakes today? Yeah, of course he has. The 3 picks. But besides that, with the help of the best defensive performance maybe in school history, Haggard and this offense have done just enough.
It's been a really efficient performance from Haggard. The problem is those 3 interceptions were all forced. It was all either late pressure, trying to do too much. If you take those away, you would have said, we're really pleased you're an Abilene Christian fan, really pleased in his performance today, less those 3 interceptions.
You saw the yardage total almost right on average when McIver's been in the lineup. Hicks is back in the lineup, shifting back and forth like a sports car in traffic. And he is close to the first down.
Timeout. Northern Arizona. Second of the half. 30-second timeout.
If I say vision again to describe Sam Hicks, I think they're going to unplug my headset. It's by far the best descriptor. I mean,
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 4:47.
He's done a fantastic job today. And
thank you.
You're welcome again, Mr. D'Angelo.
I want to unplug Jeremy D'Angelo's mic.
But for
Not
Sam
really.
Hicks, if Abilene Christian has the ability to run the football this well on the road next week against North Dakota State, that's the type of offense that travels, especially, again, it's indoors, you're not facing the elements at North Dakota State, but being able to run the football, that's how you win games in the playoffs. If you have that ability to extend drives, and it's also interesting now seeing Northern Arizona burn their timeouts. This game can effectively be put on ice here pretty soon with another first down.
1 timeout left, 4:47 to play. 3rd and a yard. And Hicks has the first down, making a 1st and goal for ACU.
And say on ice as Northern Arizona burns that last timeout, still 4:40 to play.
Timeout. Northern Arizona. Last of the half. 30-second timeout.
Down 3 scores, no timeouts. Math is just not in your favor at this point. Now, if you're Abilene Christian, probably coaching your guys, let's stay up, stay in bounds. I don't think it matters even if they score again. There's just not enough time left. And in all likelihood, Abilene Christian moving on to the 2nd round. And what can you say? I mean, this defensive performance has been, I know, a surprise for us. I think coming into this game with how we expected this game to go, Abilene Christian dealing with the injury with McIver, having your backup quarterback in the game, there was an emphasis for this defense to have to step up, and I think they have done that in spades.
You had to surround Haggard with elevated play across the board. And that's exactly what they've done, both offensively and defensively. 1st and goal, and Haggard keeps it. And he twirls down to the 8. DJ Van Hook wraps him up. And yeah, Keith Patterson said before the season, Taylor, this is the most confident, the most tight-knit group I've had in my 3 years. He was talking about conference titles and the FCS playoffs before the ball was kicked in Lubbock back in August. And the way this season has played out, it's probably more than even he could have dreamed of.
And you knew that there was a ton of belief in this team by the way that they sealed their conference championship and how they beat Tarleton State a couple weeks ago. Having just over 1:40 left, they had to drive the length of the field, no timeouts, score a touchdown to win that game. Showed a lot of belief in themselves. Good job, as I'm sure their coach Sam Hicks right now. Stay in bounds at this point in the game. Let that clock bleed down. But that drive to beat Tarleton State, I loved when we asked Coach about that on our call this week. He said, look, it was 146, no timeouts. I knew what was going to happen. We had repped that on Thursday and practiced that week. Our offense, 5 plays down the field, scored. He said, I could just see it with my eyes closed what was about to happen.
And it won't even get to that point here in their first ever FCS playoff game. Again, their 12th year in Division I football. Had success at the NAIA level, won national titles there in the 70s. Good run through Division II. Made the jump to the FCS.
First of the half, 30-second timeout.
And they are now just a few minutes away from taking on the most decorated team ever in the FCS in North Dakota State, the 9-time champs. They won 9 of those in 11 years before their Dakota marker rival, South Dakota State, won the last 2. But how about that if you're Abilene Christian? Booking a trip to the Fargo Dome this time of year and in December, that's what they have to look forward to.
And I promise you, for Keith Patterson, who you mentioned, longtime defensive coordinator, calls the plays, I promise you, he very badly wants this shutout. So this game is in hand. Abilene Christian's going to win and move on. But you will still see defensive effort in a minute when they get the ball. Northern Arizona gets the ball, and that unit on the defense is back out on the field.
3rd and goal here out of the Wildcats timeout. Hicks to the 5. So under 3 minutes now, 4th and goal for ACU. And Ritzy Vase has been warming up here on the sideline the whole time, but the offense remains out there. Nothing else, they can just bleed more clock here. Yeah, they'll let the play clock run down, probably call another timeout.
Timeout. ACU. 2nd of the half. 30-second timeout.
Taylor, we talk so much about the ACU defense standing on its head, and the guy who has been at the center of it all has been Kagan Roach.
Well, this really in the second half is where Kagan Roach made his impact felt. He was matched up on that left side against Seth Smith, and really a dominating performance in this second half. Had a couple sacks, hurries, this time working back to the quarterback. I thought this one was maybe most impressive. This spin move back to the quarterback and collapsing the pocket shows that versatility for a guy that, like you mentioned, his time at North Texas, he didn't play a ton. This was his big opportunity back here at Abilene Christian. He has made the most of it. 6 tackles, 1.5 sacks. But in this second half, I think there's nobody that had a bigger impact than Kagan Roach.
The 1.5 sacks matching his total from the regular season. So now 3 overall here in 2024. 4th and goal, they're going for it. Haggard to Blaine Taylor for the touchdown. Put a bow on this one as Haggard and Taylor hook up for another score.
And a beautiful throw to that back pylon to Blaine Taylor. They sell like this is an arrow route and then turn up the field. This is a perfectly thrown ball. You draw that up on the sidelines. That's exactly how you want it to go. Great throw from Carson Haggard to Blaine Taylor.
Taylor with his 8th touchdown of the season. Went over 1,000 yards on the year earlier. And it's 24-0. What a throw here, like you said, Taylor, from Carson Haggard.
Well, trying to put this at that back pylon, really, and it was a good route as well from Blaine Taylor. Selling that arrow route, then turn up field, get that corner, the bite down Al Ashford, biting down on what he thinks is the flat route, and then just a special throw from Carson Haggard. And we say it again, his efficiency today, has a couple touchdowns. He's done some really nice things. I think if you clean up those 3 turnovers, and he'll learn from those. Those will be good. It's good tape for him to learn from on not panicking. 2 of those 3 interceptions, that's all it really was. That'll be a confidence builder for him. That touchdown down the stretch. A lot of good things. If you're an Abilene Christian fan that you've seen today from Carson Hager.
And oh, by the way, remember, it's not just Maverick McIver out today at quarterback. No Dylan Kinney at left tackle. He's been ruled out for the season after starting all 12 games of the regular season. So Carson Walker stepping up, making his first start. That O-line holding things up well. So 2:16 to go, and a 24-0 lead for Abilene Christian. North Dakota State will be next, the 2 seed, the Bison, Cam Miller and company. And just as a fan, you certainly hope that Maverick McIver is ready to go for that one, because then you'll have 2 of the best quarterbacks at this level head-to-head with Miller and McIver.
Yeah, no doubt. I think if you're just a fan of the sport, all that McIver has accomplished, and a guy at a personal level that has battled injuries during his time at Texas Tech, also missed his senior year of high school. It would be huge for that matchup, again, just as a fan of the sport, if he's able to go.
Northern Arizona out of timeouts. Pennington underneath, Bryce A. White. To get him involved a little earlier, but ACU covered him well. Gain of 9 there.
And for Brian Wright and this Northern Arizona staff, this, in my opinion, they were a year ahead. I mean, his first year there, a lot of these guys, key players, were guys on his team from Pittsburgh State previously, and amazing what they've accomplished in his first year at Northern Arizona.
Yeah, making it to the playoffs for the first time since 2017, but the road will end here for the Jacks. 2-minute timeout in Abilene. And the celebration is on for the Cats. Abilene Christian's about to win a playoff game for the first time in 15 years when they were still in Division II. This will be their first FCS playoff win to come out of the 2-minute timeout. Well, what's ahead? North Dakota State, the 2 seed, the Bison, with as good a pedigree as anybody in the FCS. You know about the 9 championships. What have they done this year? Yeah, another 10-win season. They just don't lose at the Fargo Dome.
248 to 93 outscoring opponents. I didn't take many math classes at Rice, but
you're smart, though. You got the degree.
That seems pretty good.
Well said. So, out of the 2-minute timeout, Northern Arizona with it. Ty Pennington rifles, and deflected, but still caught. Nice job of Tyre Brooks looking that in at the 43 of ACU.
Saying again before we went to break how impressive this effort was from Northern Arizona this season. They were 3-4 to start the season, had to win out, rattled off 5 straight wins to get the at-large bid, and I think for the amount of production that they'll have coming back, this is not the last that we will have heard from the Lumberjacks.
Pennington underneath. J1 Evans with a first down across the 30. I mean, there's not a bad loss on the schedule for Northern Arizona. They lost to Arizona from the FBS, of course, and then 3 ranked teams in the FCS, UIW, Idaho, Montana, and then today against ACU. Screen for White. He is submarined by Will Schaefer, and he didn't catch the pass either.
I think by the fact that the starters are still in the game for Abilene Christian, that's all you need to know about this unit wanting to protect that shutout. Right at the edge of the kicking range for Northern Arizona, which I do think at this point they would take just the field goal. The game out of reach. Both sides in an offense that's been blank to this point do whatever you can to try and avoid the shutout.
Second and 10, Pennington has to improvise a bit. And through the hands That is receiver Ethan Clough. So 3rd and 10. I mean, you see all across the lineup, Taylor, that you have juniors and sophomores and so many guys. Again, depending on what happens in the portal in the offseason, we know how wild that can be even at the FCS level, but so many players who could come back.
Yeah, there will be some guys on the offensive line that they'll have to replace, but a lot of the production at the skill positions would have the opportunity to come back. Ty Pennington being a huge part of that.
Sophomore Pennington on 3rd down. Trying to run for it. And inside the 20-yard line, close to the sticks. Chris Wright brought him down. It is 4th down. Minute to go. Well,
I wonder what I said about trying to not get shut out. Does not appear that head coach Brian Ryan not aligned.
They need a yard here. 40 seconds to play. Pressure from Wright. Pennington's pass is batted down by Mukes. Good night. Shutout preserved. The ACU defense has played the game of its life.
More pressure in the face of Ty Pennington. It's been there all night and caps off an unbelievable performance. Abilene Christian holding Northern Arizona to under 200 yards of total offense and 0 points. It's the first time that this team has pitched a shutout. September 25th, 2021 against Lamar.
And to do it on this stage in their first ever FCS playoff game without their star quarterback, with Carson Haggard making his first career start, and Keith Patterson and Abilene Christian and these fans can celebrate a landmark victory at the FCS level. Dominant defense fueling the Wildcats as they knock off Northern Arizona 24-0.
That is the end of the game.
ACU on its way to Fargo to play North Dakota State in the 2nd round. Where are you going, Keith? You're going to Fargo next Saturday right here on ESPN+. I mean, Taylor, the word incredible gets thrown out way too often. But considering they didn't have one of the stars of the FCS, Maverick McIver, considering the defense has been much maligned all season long, who could have expected this?
Oh, that everyone thought that this was going to be a close game. Whether it was, either side, I think we all expected this to really come down to a one-score game. But this effort from Abilene Christian's defense, unbelievable. Again, pitching a shutout, under 200 yards of offense allowed, and now an opportunity to head north, visit North Dakota State.
Next Saturday, 3 Eastern, 2 Central, right here on ESPN Plus from the Fargo Dome. As this season, the very best for ACU since they joined Division I a dozen years ago, rolls on. So that'll do it here from the Big Country. So glad you could spend part of your Thanksgiving weekend with us. Historic stuff for Abilene Christian as they beat Northern Arizona 24-0. For Taylor McCarg and our entire terrific crew, this is Ted Emmerich saying so long from Abilene. ACU marches on.